All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your game tonight versus the St. Johns Redskins and the Joseph City Wildcats. We're just getting going here. Just had tip-off. Joe City won the tip-off, so the Redskins are back on defense. We've got a special guest announcing with us tonight. Miss Chantel Perry is here. She's going to be helping us, one of the high school students, former player from last year. So we're excited to have her on board as Joe City's looking to work it in. St. John's is in a man-to-man defense, as you can see, and that's a beautiful pass over the top. And number 5 is fouled. That's Miss Kissling for the Wildcats. She gets fouled. She's going to be able to shoot 2 on the line. And while we're getting the foul going, I want to say thank you to Coach Whiting for being here, helping us out tonight as well. We've also got our man, the man that makes it all happen, Mr. Victor Chavez, here tonight. Huge thank you to him for making all this happen so that we can bring you this game tonight. As you know, a little bit different as she makes that first shot. Very nice shot there. As you know, not a lot of fans in the crowd tonight. We've got COVID going on. Of course, that's the we're just happy to be able to play tonight. So as she gets that second foul shot, Joe City goes up 2-0 to start the game. St. John's brings it back down the court. You're going to see the players with their masks on. We talked to them earlier. I'll give you a little info on that here in just a second. But I want to get Miss Chantel Perry's opinion on what would it be like to be out there playing with a mask, Chantel? How would that be?
I think it would be kind of tough when you breathe. Like your stamina will run out kind of quick.
Right?
Yeah.
So I know you guys are in good shape, and I've been in high school a long time, but I remember back then. But still, that'd be hard with a mask on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look at our girls down there. Liberty Raven, she's got kind of a skeleton mask on. Got some stylish masks, so I guess if you're going to have to wear a mask, you might as well have a nice one, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful pass by Olivia up to Liberty Raven. Misses the layup. Olivia with the rebound, and she gets fouled. So number 33 for the Redskins, Olivia Wilbank, is going to go to the line. She is a sophomore. She's a 5'10 sophomore. So you're going to see her get 2 shots. So everybody's got masks on as you're looking out there. You can see that is an interesting sight, something I never thought that I would see in my lifetime, but we're just happy that the girls get to play. So the AIA made the decision in regards to players wearing masks. You can see that all the referees also, or the officials I should say, they all have masks on as well. So we're going to go through the lineup for St. John's here in a second. Right now on the floor you've got number 21. That's Joanne Wall. She's a 5'7 senior guard. And then, of course, you got number 10. That's Brooke Smith. She's a 5'5 junior. Also on the floor for the Redskins, of course, is number 11. That's Kinley Crosby, and she's a 5'5 junior as well. And then, of course, we just talked about Olivia Wilbank. She made both of her free throws. So you got Olivia Wilbank, number 33. She is a 5'10 sophomore out there for the Redskins tonight. So as I rattled that off, you can see that right now on the floor there's just one senior, and that's Liberty Raven. So we've got a very young team here for these Lady Redskins tonight as they get things started. Olivia takes a nice shot out there from the elbow, a little bit long. That's rebounded by Kate Edwards for the Joe City Wildcats, and she's going to bring it up the floor. And you can see Joe City's wanting to penetrate on that man-to-man defense, and that's a great steal right there by Liberty Raven. Pushes it up to Brooke Smith, who goes the opposite way, and she's going to be called for travel. That was a nice move, and she almost got it in there. So, Chantel, what's it like sitting up here in the announcer's box looking down on top like that?
It's kind of cool to see all what's happening on the court.
It's a totally different view, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You're looking down there and you're like, okay, that one's going to go in or that ball's going to go out, or how come that girl doesn't hustle and get that rebound? And then you realize once you get down on the floor, it's completely different when you're sitting 20 feet up in the air above the players. So you'll get used to it as the game goes on. Man, that was a nice shot right there by Liberty Raven. She didn't get the shot, but she did get fouled, so Liberty's going to go to the line and take 2 foul shots. So I talked to Coach Davis a little bit before the game. I'll get to that in a minute. I want to give you the rundown, of course, of the Joe City Wildcats. We'll get them here in just a second. And we also want to give you the officials and tell them thank you for being here. They've all traveled a long ways. As Liberty Raven, nice shot right over the front of the rim. Joanne Wall goes out of the game. You see that Brooke Smith comes in and Olivia Wilbank goes to the back to be the safety. But we've got a huge thank you to these officials for coming out, being here, making this happen. They drove a long ways, and they're willing to put the masks on as well so our kids can play. Right now tonight on the floor, our officials I'll give you their names here in a second when we get a break in play because it looks like Joe City's going to try to get a shot from the three-point line right here. Oh, she goes inside. St. John's doubles are up well, and Liberty Raven is going to be called for her first personal foul tonight, number 12, Liberty Raven, a senior. Our officials tonight are Ted Watson, Terry Jones, and Jared Totticini. That's who's officiating our girls' game tonight. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being out here and making this happen. Liberty Raven makes a nice break to the basket. We've got the wrong team took it out. So, officials got to get control of that. Good for the Redskins to try to get a steal on the inbounds. Kind of a different way to get the ball, but they go for the steal. So Joe City goes back underneath. Number 23 for Joe City is going to be bringing it in. That's Savannah Kinlachini. She gets it into number 4 for the Wildcats, and it's a miss. Looks like there is going to be a foul called, and I think that's going to be on Olivia Wilbank, number 33. She is the 5'10 sophomore for the Redskins. She gets her first foul of the night. It's a non-shooting foul, although I did think she was shooting, but, yeah, there you go. Okay, they are going to give her 2 shots. I thought she was in the motion of shooting. So she gets 2 shots. It looks like we're going to have a player come in the game here in just a second for the Redskins, Miss Aubrey Wilson, number 20. She is a 5'8 freshman for the Redskins. Looks like she's going to make her first appearance into the game here real quick. Chantel, what can you tell us? You played with some of these girls last season. What do you think the coach is telling them, and what are they trying to accomplish tonight?
I think they are going to be trying to push tempo really a lot to get Joe City tired so they can just run all over them.
Okay, and that's a good idea because we've got some good athletes and we've got some girls that have a lot of endurance. You just saw Olivia Wilbank come out of the game, number 33. That is her second foul, and we're barely 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in this first period. So St. John's' big player, big all-star player, has already picked up 2 fouls. So you see number 20, Aubrey Wilson, come in for Olivia Wilbank. That's a nice swing up the floor right there. That's a good inbounds pass on that free throw. Looks like we're going to see a drive and a shot by Liberty Raven right there. Boom, and she puts it in. Nice. Right off the foul line, she drives in, draws the fake, puts it up. So St. John's goes up 5-3 with about 5 minutes and 12 seconds left in this first period. Good ball movement by the Joe City Wildcats as well. They're running a motion offense against this man. And number 23 draws the foul as she drives in. That again is Savannah Kinlachini. She is a 5'3" senior. She's a guard for Joe City. She did a great job. Liberty Raven, the senior captain for this Redskin team, she draws her second foul. So St. John's already has 4 team fouls, and we still got over 5 minutes left in this first period. As number 23, Savannah Kinlachini, she misses her first free throw, and you see number 22 come into the game. That is Hannah Burt. Miss Hannah Burt, she's a 5'6" sophomore. She comes in for the Redskins, and I believe she's going to be in there because, again, Liberty Raven just picked up her second foul, and there's still over 5 minutes to go in the first. So here comes that same swing pass, and I like how they're moving that up there. You see how they rotate that and swing that up? So is that something you guys ran in practice last year?
Yeah.
Off a made foul shot?
Yeah, it is. It's like a fast break. So you can hustle down and get a free lay-in.
So Hannah Burt is actually called for traveling right there, so Josie gets the ball back. Yeah, so that's something that generally you'll see teams run on a made free throw. They'll swing that ball down in 3 passes and try to get a lay-in up underneath and catch the other team sleeping. So St. John's has tried that twice now. It almost worked both times. But there's number 20, the freshman, Miss Wilson with the drive, goes in left-handed and scores right. Oh, that was a very nice drive there by Miss Aubrey Wilson. So she puts the team up 7-4, 4 minutes and about 19 seconds to go in this first period. St. John's does have several fouls. They've got 2 of their starters in foul trouble already with 2 fouls apiece. And so they've got them both sitting down. Aubrey's come in. She's doing a great job coming in for Olivia Wilbank. She just picks the ball up off the steal right there as we call her name, and she's bringing it up on the right side. Nice pass there underneath the number 21. Joanne Wall off the glass. Beautiful shot right there. The 5'8" senior, number 21, Joanne Wall, puts St. John's up by 5. That is a nice rebound right there. My number 21 for the Wildcats, Cadence Armstrong. She's a 5'10" sophomore. Gets that off the rebound and puts it in. Nice shot there. So you can see Wilson, Aubrey goes up underneath, drives with that left hand and scores high off the glass. St. John's 11-6 against Joe City with about 3:20 to go. So Chantel, what are you seeing out there that you're used to playing with, or something that you see the Redskins doing different tonight?
I think they have really improved with left-hand drive-ins because we kind of struggled with that last year, but they're doing a phenomenal job on that left side.
I thought so too, huh? Aubrey Wilson's got 2 lay-ins on the left-hand side. Just have a nice touch off the glass right there. So Joe City's gone to like a 1-2-2, or may sag into a 3-2. We'll see as they play. So Joe City's in a 1-2-2, and I think that's because of St. John's height. They don't quite have anybody out there with height. So St. John's are going to have to shoot off the wing, and they do. Nice shot right there by number 22, Hannah Burt, the 5'6" sophomore for the Redskins. The Redskins are up 13-5 with about 2:40 to go in this first period. They're playing without 2 of their starters, and off the bench, Hannah Burt and Aubrey Wilson doing a phenomenal job coming in and putting the points up. And that's a nice pass up there to number 23, Mauricio Begay. And Mauricio Begay with the big lay-in. She is the 5'7" senior for the Redskins, and she does a beautiful job off that pass and scores. So now the Redskins are actually almost double up. They're 9 points up right now on the Joe City Wildcats. And the Wildcats are trying to break this man-to-man defense by the Redskins. Redskins still in man-to-man. That's what resulted in, I'm sure, more of their fouls. And Joanne Wall is going to be called for another ball foul. Non-shooting, but Joanne Wall, the 5'7" senior, gets called for, it looks like her first foul. Coach Davis is talking to her. He needs her to play smart and be smart. She's a senior on the team, a lot of experience. He doesn't want her to get in foul trouble and have to come out of the game like 2 of his other starters already have. So he's talking to her right now. You can see Coach down there on the screen. We're not seeing what you're seeing, so I apologize if you can't see him, but Coach Ray Davis is down there doing a great job working with these girls. He's got a young team like we talked about earlier, Chantel. Not a lot of seniors out there. There's actually, you got a freshman on the floor right now, sophomore, some juniors, and then you do have 1 senior, 2 seniors out there actually, with Miss Mauricio Begay being in the game. So let's see how they do. Kinley Crosby, great job with the rebound right there. She's looking to bring it up the court. The Redskins flare out to the wings, and here is Miss Mauricio Begay with a shot right off the front of the rim. That was a nice shot, almost went in. Kinley Crosby with the big rebound underneath, and Joe City picks it up. Going to bring it back down, number 23 for the Wildcats, Savannah Kinlachini, bringing that ball down the floor. She kicks it over to her right side, and that three-pointer from number 15 is all the way in. That is Miss Hutchins, the 5'4" senior guard for Joe City, with a nice three-pointer, bringing Joe City back within 6 points. All right, so it is going to be the Redskins' ball. And number 40 for the Redskins comes into the game. That's Miss Carly Wingert. She is the 5'10" sophomore for the Redskins. So she comes in the game for the first time, number 40, down on the block. So we've got most of the starters out of the game. And it looks like the Redskins are going to play through the rest of this period with about a minute to go with this team on the floor. Miss Aubrey Wilson looks to drive down the left side. She goes up and underneath, doesn't quite get it, but Carly Wingert with the big rebound, and they're going to call it jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Wildcats, so Joe City's going to bring that ball down the floor. They've got 48 seconds. They're down by 6 points. It's here in the first period. Kind of the story of the game so far, Chantel, is that St. Johns has a little bit of foul trouble. 2 of their starters got 2 fouls within 2 or 3 minutes of the first quarter, so they are sitting down. So the players have come off the bench, have actually done a really good job. They're playing good defense. We've had some nice scoring from Aubrey Wilson. That's a great steal right there from number 22, Hannah Burt. And here goes Miss Hannah Burt for that three-point shot. Oh, in and out. That was a good-looking shot there by Miss Hannah Burt, but it just didn't quite fall. So Joe City throws it all the way down. Big pass stolen by Hannah Burt again. Number 22, Hannah Burt, bringing it down the floor. Kicks it over to Kinley Crosby on the right wing, and boom, she nails that 12-footer. And St. John's goes up 17-9 with 4 seconds to go. Joe City's going to have to hurry and shoot this. And that, look at that. All the way over the backboard. Nice try, though. So The St. Johns Redskins come out for only their second game of the season. They're up 17-9 against the Joe City Wildcats. They have 5 team fouls for the first half, and it looks like they're going to want to do exactly what Miss Chantel Perry said. It looks like they're going to want to push the ball, keep the tempo on Joe City, and try to wear them down as the game goes on. Right now they're doing a good job, Chantel, don't you think?
Yeah, I do. I think they're making Joe City look real tired out there.
So what's something you can tell us about Coach Davis that we might not know? Something funny about him, or how he coaches you guys, or what? Any stories you can tell us? Something you think the listening audience might want to know about?
Just a few weeks ago, he told Liberty she needs to get her hair up because she always forgets her hair ties. So he asked her if she has any scrunchies, and she said no, she didn't get any for Christmas. So he came back the next day with the pack of scrunchies, and he told her Merry Christmas.
That sounds like Coach Davis right there. Good job for Coach Davis. No scrunchies, hairs everywhere, and Santa Claus shows up and brings her a whole package of scrunchies. All right, well, that is good news. Let me give you a quick recap as we start this second quarter so far. Miss Kinley Crosby has 4 points. Liberty Rabin has 3 points. Aubrey Wilson has 4 points. Joanna Wall with a nice shot there off the foul line has 2. And Olivia Wilbank has 2 points. Now, Olivia Wilbank and Liberty Rabin both have 2 fouls, so they've got to be careful in this second period. For the Joe City Wildcats, Kate Edwards has a point. Miss Kissling has 2 points. Miss Hutchins has 3 points. Miss Armstrong has 2. And Savannah Kinlachini has 1 point. So that is your stats so far going into this second period, with St. John's up 17-9. An 8-point lead for the Redskins as we start this second period. Now I got to look down there and see if Liberty Rabin has scrunchies in her hair. That's a funny story right there. That's the kind of inside stories we like to hear. Just personalizing these players. That's a nice shot by number 15 from the outside, but it just comes off the rim. And you're looking at Brooke Smith, the 5'5 junior, gets tied up on the ground by Miss Kissling for Joe City, and the ball goes to Joe City. So possession arrow changes back to St. John's after Joe City takes the ball out. That's a nice pass right there across the court, and a good feed underneath, but Aubrey Wilson gets in the way. She's going to get called for a body foul there, but it's a good job trying to steal that ball. You know, these young ladies played Sholo. They actually played Sholo Cougars earlier this week. They had a good game. They had a real good game. Aubrey Wilson was 2 for 3. She had 8 points. Joanna Wall had 9 points. She was a high scorer, so good job there. And Miss Liberty Rabin had 6 points as well, so that was a great game. It looks like Olivia Wilbank scored underneath for 4 points. She was 50% from the field, so that's nice work for Miss Olivia Wilbank. So a young team to be sure, but a good, talented team. Great coaches. We'll talk about Coach Davis here in a little bit. And, of course, Coach Waite and Coach Platt, they do a fantastic job getting these girls ready. All alumni of St. John's. Great coaches, great players in their own right during their time, and that's translated over into what they want to do with this team. Of course, Coach Davis has been in multiple state playoffs, state championships. He's won state championships in multiple sports. Somebody can text me and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the only coach in the history of St. John's who has won state championships in multiple sports, as you see that nice drive right there by number 15, Joe City. So Coach Davis goes to a timeout. Joe City's cut the lead 17-13, so just 4 points now separates these two teams with 6:33 left in the second period as the Redskins come over and start listening to Coach Davis. But, you know, you don't think about that very often. And Chantel, as you get older, you'll realize that that is quite the accomplishment for a coach to actually coach 2 different sports and win state championships in 2 different sports, and also to win a state championship with boys and a state championship with girls. Very impressive, very, very hard to do, quite frankly. So a huge congratulations to Coach Ray Davis on his accomplishments as a coach here at St. John's. He always underplays everything. If you try to give him congratulations or you try to tell him he's doing a good job, he always deflects it and says it's the girls. He has nothing to do with it. So he's a very humble coach, very hard-working coach. I actually went to high school with him, so I've known him my whole life. And just a wonderful, wonderful human being that really cares about people, cares about the girls, loves to coach sports, and loves St. John's. So we're super fortunate to have him here, and especially his 2 assistant coaches that do such a great job. Like I said, Coach Trevor Waite and Coach Brittany Platt, they do an amazing job getting these girls ready. They both are position coaches. Tell us a little bit about Coach Waite as we're watching this game.
Oh, he is a really tough coach, but he means well.
But he means well?
Oh, yeah. He'll just play hard with you, though.
Yeah.
He won't care because he knows he's getting you ready for game-like situations. So he's really good.
Oh, that's great to hear. And Coach Platt, I'm sure she was an amazing athlete in high school. She did a great job, so I'm sure she's a good coach as well. Anything you can tell us about Coach Platt?
Oh, Coach Platt, she puts the hammer down when it needs to be put down, even if the girls don't like it. She's a tough coach as well. She also means well, though.
So tough coaches, but they mean well, right?
Oh,
it's always nice to win, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Everything feels better after you win. That's a nice drive right there by Miss Hannah Burt. The 5'7" sophomore comes off the left side like you talked about earlier, Chantel. She comes off that left side with a nice lay-in right there and scores.
Joe City is starting to pass more.
It's a good pass over the top right there, huh? Got it to her. We've been able to get some good steals, though. Their passes are just a little bit off as Miss Aubrey Wilson with a big shot. It's only going to be a 2-pointer. They said her foot was on the line, so a great shot nonetheless. Keep shooting, Aubrey, from the outside. So St. John's 21-15. They're up by 6, and we're going to get a jump ball with the arrow going St. John's way. So into the game comes the senior. Miss Liberty Rabin, the 5'5" senior, comes into the game. She's got 2 fouls right now. She's going to come back to the point. They're going to rely on her for her leadership. She is a senior on the floor with this young team. So she had a good game against Sholo, like we talked about earlier. She actually scored 6 points and had some really good defensive plays over there earlier this week. So Joe City's back in that 1-2-2, and St. John's is just going across the top. As you know, the weak spots on a 1-2-2 are in the middle, and you can kind of get it on the wing if you can get them to rotate. So it's real hard to drive on a zone like that, but that is a nice kickback. Barely missed by Miss Joanne Wall. Nice shot there. So rebound is going to go back over to Joe City. And it looks like we're going to go into a press, Chantel. Tell us about your press. What did you guys practice on with this?
Well, we practice on making them go to the corners so we can trap them and have 2 girls on 1, so it's very hard for them to get the ball down court.
Okay. And right there, St. John's didn't quite get the steal, but they did get the jump ball, so the possession arrow is going to stay with Joe City. But that's a good hustle there by the Redskins. So you're trying to push them into the corner and get that 2-on-1 situation so you can try to get the steal. And Kinley Crosby came across and did a great job getting that steal. Liberty Rabin, the senior, she comes up with the ball, gets it up to Aubrey Wilson with a great pass over to Miss Smith. Oh, just right over the front of the rim, barely misses that. Brooke Smith with just a short miss there. We've had a few that haven't fallen. And like you talked about, Chantel, that left-handed lay-in that they're working on. Maybe they need to go left-handed because I don't think they've missed any of those tonight.
They're doing well on man-to-man defense. So.
A lot of hustle down there, huh?
Yeah.
So she's going to be called for traveling. Talk us through that, Chantel. Why did he call her for traveling right there?
I think she hesitated a little because she thought she was going to go for that, and then she changed her mind, but she had already moved her feet.
She'd already moved her feet, huh?
Yeah.
Darn it. I thought the same thing. I thought she was going to shoot that ball, and she saw Aubrey Wilson open over there on the right side, and she decided that would be a better look and just kind of move that foot a little bit. Like I said, these officials are great officials. They've actually been doing it a long time, many years. I won't say that it's been 100 years, but Terry Jones, Mr. Terry Jones, he's been doing it forever. Wonderful official. So thank you, Mr. Terry Jones, for being out there. I talked to Paul Hancock, one of the officials for the AIA, and he was telling me that we were joking about it and said, Terry's been doing this, I think, for 100 years. And we laughed a little bit, but he's been out there for a long time. But you can't tell. He gets up and down the court like he's still 25. He looks like he's 30, so congratulations to Terry. I don't know what he's doing, but he must be living right because he looks good out there tonight. So Joe City still down by 3. They have cut the lead, as you recall. At the end of the first period, St. John's was up by 8 points. Joe City's cut it all the way down. They're only down by 3. And so the Redskins are looking, like you said, Chantel, to keep the pressure on Joe City and kind of tire them out. Now, Joe City's not having to work as hard on defense because, as you can see, they're running that 1-2-2. And I think the reason they're doing that is we don't have a lot of big men in the game right now. We don't have a lot of height in the middle. That's the weakness of that zone. You get it in the middle to your big man. If they collapse on the zone, you kick it out. If they don't, your big man just shoots it. But Olivia is actually on the bench right now. She's got a couple fouls, and I think Coach wants to keep her out of foul trouble. So we're going to have to figure it out from the outside. You could see that foul on number 21 for the Wildcats on number 21 for the Redskins. So Joanne Wall shooting the ball gets to get 2 shots from the line. She is the 5'7" senior for the Redskins. She's doing a good job out there tonight. She's a hustler. Tell us a little bit about Joanne. In the years I've watched her, she seems to really hustle and very competitive and wants to win.
Oh, yeah. Joanne has really good work ethic, and she puts 110% into everything she does. She's a very hardworking athlete.
That's what I would think. It's good to hear that from the inside. We're not in practice with her every day like you are, but that's what I see in the game. So she does a good job right there, gets that foul shot. So St. John's goes up by 4 points. There's 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go here in this second period. I thought St. John's was going to get into at least 1-1, if not the double bonus on fouls. They had 5 fouls at the end of the first period. They've only picked up 1 so far, so nobody is in foul trouble from a team standpoint right now. 6 fouls for the Redskins and 3 fouls for the Wildcats. So they've played a pretty clean game, and I'm sure that's something that Coach Davis talks to you about in practice and in games. So Olivia Wilbank is back in the game, number 33 for the Redskins. She is their 5'10" sophomore, and I imagine they'll be looking inside for her a little more as they go into Joanne. Miss Wilson thought the Joe City had touched it, so she didn't try to grab it out of bounds, but the official disagrees, so Joe City gets the ball back. As number 23, Savannah Kinlachini brings it in for Joe City. Bringing it up the court is number 32. That is Miss Miller. She is a 5'2" junior for Joe City. So on that still, looks like we're going to have a full timeout. Looks like we're going to get a full timeout is what's being said down there on the floor right now. So we've got a little bit of a scoring update for you. I think, it looks like Joe City, the Savannah Kinlachini, she leads Joe City. In fact, she leads all scores with what looks like 7 points. She's hit those 2 nice 3-point baskets, and, of course, she had the foul shot. So she's got 7 points for the game. St. John's leading scorer is Miss Aubrey Wilson. She's got 3 baskets, 2, 2, and 2. She almost had a 3-pointer right there, but she was just a little bit long on that 3-point line. Stepped on it, so they only gave her 2. So those are the 2 leading scorers for the St. John's and Joe City, respectively. We've got 1:45 to go here. St. John's is up by 4. And Chantel, what would you do right now? What do you think Coach is telling him, and what do you think he wants them to do as this half gets, closer to being to an end?
I think he's telling them that they need to be more patient and not to force it into Joanne in the middle because they're just collapsing really well on Joanne. So I think they need to really wait for the middle to open up while they keep passing it around and be patient about that.
That is a great point. They're passing that in, and Joe City is doing a great job of collapsing. I'd like to see St. John's a little bit quicker, pass it into the center, and then have Joanne kick it right back out and get an open shot down there on the wing or down there off the block when those girls collapse in for Joe City. So, again, this is your St. John's Redskins. This is the second game of the season. You're going to get a foul called. Hopefully that's not on Olivia Wilbank because did not look like a foul on her. Let's see who it's called on. He calls it on 1-1, so it is on Miss Kinley Crosby. That's going to be her first foul. That does get the Wildcats into the bonus. Yeah, that is 7 fouls. So they're into the bonus. They get to shoot 1-1. That is the first foul on Kinley Crosby, so that's a good thing. They need her on the floor. She needs to stay out of foul trouble and stay on the floor. Nice shot there by number 15 for the Wildcats, Miss Hutchins. Great shot. She is, I believe, a senior. She is a 5'5" senior for the Wildcats. A very nice form. Good shot right there. Let's see if she can make the second one to bring the Wildcats within 2 points. Just off the front of the rim, so the Wildcats are still down by 3 as Liberty Raven brings it up the floor for the Redskins. looking to see who's underneath. Here goes Miss Kinley Crosby. Nice shot from on top with the three-point. Barely bounces out, but Liberty, the senior, goes ahead and gets the ball, gets it back to Kinley. And Miss Kinley Crosby brings it out front. She wants to reset that. As you can see, they're still running the – Joe City's still wanting to run. It's almost like a man-to-man, like a zone man. Looks like a 2-1-2 right there. And Miss Aubrey Wilson from the outside with the shot just off the net. And Olivia Wilbank gets it. Kinley Crosby with a nice penetration down the middle. Barely misses. And number 15 for the Wildcats, Miss Hutchin, comes away with it. So Joe City comes back down the floor. They're down by 3. You got about 40 seconds to go in the half. And it looks like they're going to call traveling on number 20. Yeah, that is. That's on number 24. That's Miss Jessica Jesmer. She is a 5'6" senior. And so the Redskins are going to get the ball with about 41 seconds to go in this half. We're going to see if they're going to want to shoot the ball or if they're going to try to stall and see if they can't get the last shot. So Kinley brings it in. That's number 10 for the Wildcats in the game. That's Abby Smith. She's a 5'7" senior for the Wildcats. She's out there defending Kinley. Almost gets the steal. And it looks like they're going to call her for, was that traveling, Chantel? Yeah. They call her for traveling there? Okay, so St. John's turns it back over with 29 seconds to go here to end this first half. Joe City's done a good job this half, or I should say this second quarter coming back. They were down by 8 against the Redskins, and now they've cut the lead to 3, and that's a nice steal right there. Oh, nice steal by Liberty Raven. You'd like to see Aubrey Wilson go up a little stronger, a little more control. And Joanne's going to try to make that shot from Olivia, and they're going to call her for 3 seconds in the lane. So St. John's puts on that pressure you were talking about earlier, Chantel, and look at that. It results in a turnover. She tried to throw that all the way across court. No one was there, so turnover by the Wildcats. We've had 4 turnovers in the last 32 seconds. So these girls are either nervous or they're just playing good defense. So with 14 seconds to go, that's our 4th turnover. And here comes Kinley Crosby, bringing the ball up the floor, gets it over to Liberty Raven as the clock comes down under 10 seconds. That's a nice steal right there by Miss Abby Smith as she comes down the lane. She tries to shoot. She does get fouled. And it's going to be 8 fouls on the Redskins, so it is a 1-and-1 situation as number 10 for the Wildcats, Miss Abby Smith, the 5'7" senior, comes to the line. She's come in and played a good game, especially right here in this last minute or two, putting good pressure and good defense on the Redskins. So she goes to the line. She's got a chance to bring her team within 1 point if she can make both of these shots. And that was on Olivia Wilbank. I was waiting to see if they were going to bring her out of the game. So Olivia Wilbank, a starter, doing a great job for the Redskins, but she does have 3 fouls right here in this first half, and so Coach Davis does take her out of the game. As Abby Smith misses the front end of that 1-on-1, and Liberty Raven with the rebound gets it up to Kinley Crosby, who takes a long 3-point shot. Oh, and he just rolls in and rolls out. It's like being at the carnival, Victor. It's like being at the carnival and you throw that ring up there and it just bounces around on the bottles. We all thought it was going in. That was a nice shot by Miss Kinley Crosby there at the end of the first half. That would have put St. John's up by, well, it would have been 6 because they're up by 3 right now, but didn't quite make it. So, Chantel, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for announcing with us and giving us this inside information that we don't get all the time. Tell us what you think so far about the first half. What have you seen that you like from the Redskins so far?
I actually really like how they're pressuring and staying in man-to-man because I think that's really helping them get Joe City tired because they don't know what to do when we're in man-to-man. Okay.
What do you don't like, but maybe let's phrase it this way. What do you think the Redskins could do better as they come out in this second half?
Well, I see that Liberty Raven is doing a phenomenal job rebounding, but I kind of see that she's the only one going out in there to rebound the ball, so I think St. John's could do a little better on getting down in the paint and rebounding those balls because that's crucial for us to get those rebounds.
That is such a good point. I've noticed Liberty has gotten 3 or 4 rebounds just right there at the end of the second period. You know, she's only 5'4". She's not the tallest person on the team. She is a senior, so she's got a lot of experience. But there she is down underneath the basket. And you know she's one of our guards, but there she is down underneath the basket getting those rebounds all the time. So we're going to need some of our other players to collapse and come in there. Miss Aubrey Wilson has been filling in for Olivia Wilbank because Olivia's had that foul trouble. And so, you know, she is a freshman. So she doesn't maybe have the experience that, say, a Liberty Raven does. So she's going to have to get under there a little bit more, get some rebounding. Joanne Wall, let me look at Joanne Wall's fouls and see if she's got, I think she's got 2. I'm not sure. No, she only has 1, so she's doing a good job on that. We'd like to see Joanne underneath there as well. She's a good rebounder. She hustles really well. What are you seeing from the Joe City Wildcats that you like?
I was really impressed with that Abby Smith. When she came out, she just came out with a lot of heart and hustle, and she really tore it up and got her team's momentum to keep going at the end of that second half. It's really good.
I thought so too. She caused a couple turnovers. She even drew a foul and got a foul shot. She missed the front end of it, but she did get a foul shot. So she was trying to give her team a chance to get in there. What do you think Joe City needs to work on as we go into this second half? What do they need to work on to get better and make sure that it happens?
I think they need to be a little more patient and pass the ball off more rather than hold on to it for as long as they do.
Okay. You know, I just got handed a note from Coach Whiting, and I'm going to read this because I think it's kind of interesting, and then I want you to comment on it if you can. But before I do that, I didn't give you a chance. I want to know what you think Joe City did good and bad. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that 1-2-2 defense they're running?
I think Joe City's 1-2-2 to be.
Yeah. So when Joe City comes up top, you know, they've got that girl up top, and then they got the 1-2-2. What do you think about that?
I think that St.Johns is like they're wanting to just push momentum instead of being patient in that, because they just keep forcing plays that aren't there. So I think Joe City is really smart for doing that zone defense there.
So you think the Redskins need to be more patient, working the ball into the inside? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're forcing it way too much, and one of Coach Davis's things is that first pass is not always going to be there. So I think they need to remind themselves of that and be more patient and move the ball until it does get an open shot.
I agree with that. Just move that around, keep that zone moving, and then finally be able to get on the inside. So I want to read this to you. I think this is pretty interesting. Coach Whiting was actually talking to Coach Davis about what did you do to keep things mixed up for the girls, to keep them motivated. As everybody knows, right now, if you're watching this 20 years from now, everybody knows that this is the COVID-19 pandemic. We've had a pretty rough virus kind of spread all around the world. Everyone's being cautious. Unfortunately, we've had a tougher time as a society kind of getting rid of it and keeping deaths down and people being sick. So you are seeing people out there playing with masks. So it's an interesting thing. So I'm giving you that background to say this. The girls did not get to play during the last half of the year. So it wasn't like they were playing in November or December like we normally do. So these games just started this week, and we're into I think it's the 3rd week of January. So, Coach Davis, what have you done to keep things rolling was the question. And here's what he said. I've had my team scrimmage with the boys. So did you guys scrimmage with the boys last year?
Not too often.
Not too often? The boys are kind of rough? Probably a little rough. Hopefully they weren't. Another thing that he said was that, let me see that. Oh, yeah, right there. That you guys scrimmaged the alumni this year, apparently.
Yeah, see, I don't remember doing that last year, but my freshman year we did scrimmage them once.
Is that right? What was that like, scrimmaging alumni? Were they old and slow, or were they decent?
Oh, no, they were phenomenal. They were getting in there, being physical, and I think that was really shaking us up because I feel like us girls kind of struggled on being physical. And so alumni coming in and being physical with us, I think that really helped us to really see how these bigger schools will be when we play them in the playoffs and stuff like that. So I think it was a good thing to have.
It was actually a good thing, huh? All right. And then I thought this was interesting. He sent them to a dance studio for cardio workouts. I don't know what studio it was. I was wondering if maybe you knew, but apparently they went to a dance studio to get some cardio workouts in. So I thought that was interesting. Good for Coach Davis to mix things up and try to keep the girls, not getting bored and kind of having a little more of a better experience as they waited for 2 months to play as this COVID pandemic. Hopefully we're on the tail end of this, or at least on the downslide of this. I didn't get a chance to announce the coaches for Joe City, so I hope I have their names right. I think that I do, but the head coach is Mr. Dan Bushman. and then you have Caleb Layden, and then Dan Hutchins. And I'm guessing Coach Hutchins probably has a daughter on the team, number 12, Brinley Hutchins. She's been playing a great game. So there is something I want to say about Dan Bushman. He is the 6th-year head coach for Joe City. He's done a great job with them, and we're happy that Joe City has come over here to play the Redskins tonight. So thank you, coaches, from Joe City. All right. I want to thank a lot of people here real quick, if you don't mind. First of all, thanks to the administration for St. John's. We've got, of course, our superintendent, Mr. Ed Burgoyne. He's doing a great job working through the COVID pandemic and helping everybody out, keeping the school safe. You may be able to hear Mr. David Bradshaw right now, our assistant principal and athletic director. He's really had to do a lot of extra work and take things really serious, and he's done an amazing job keeping the school safe, keeping everybody together, keeping classes open, and making the student athletes and everybody else feel very welcome here. Also, I want to thank our principal at the high school, Mr. Roger Heap. He has been in education, teaching and or as an administrator for, I believe, at least 42 or 43 years. And I'm sure he never thought that he would see this in his coaching tenure or his teaching or administration. And so he's also done a phenomenal job, the three of them working together at the high school to make sure they follow regulations. They've done a phenomenal job with the kids, with the teachers, teaching online, having classes in session. I can't say enough good things about what they've done. And so, Chantel, I want to hear your take on it, or what you think about this as a student athlete like you are. What do you think about this whole COVID pandemic and having to wear masks and being in school like you are, and having online learning and in-class learning and whatnot?
I don't know. I think it's just crazy. Like, we always learn about in, like, history all these plagues and, like, viruses that go around and, like, really messed up the world back in the day. And the fact that we're living in a global pandemic is just, like, so unreal.
Isn't it, though?
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm super old. I'm almost 50 years old. I've never seen anything like this. And you're what? Are you 15, 16?
Yeah, 16.
16. And all of a sudden in your short lifetime, you've been at what? Last year you were a sophomore?
Yes.
Yeah, so last year this was going on, right? And you guys missed spring sports.
Yeah.
Like track, softball, baseball. That just didn't happen. And that was last year. And now it is. Here we're going into your junior year. And you played on the volleyball team, correct?
Yes.
So you guys didn't have as many restrictions on the volleyball team. The number of cases were down. Things weren't as serious, it didn't seem like, during the volleyball season. But still, how was that? What was that like, actually playing a sport under COVID, so to speak, or during the COVID pandemic?
Well, like you said, thankfully we didn't have too many restrictions, but we did have to accommodate to traveling a lot further than we are used to because of how many people shut down their schools and cities because of COVID. But I think that was kind of only the real thing that we faced in volleyball season.
And you guys did have to travel a lot further. I remember the regions were redrawn, and you guys were spending a lot of time traveling more south, like to, Miami?
Yeah, and Tucson.
Tucson. That's right. You guys went down and actually played teams in Tucson and stayed the night, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We played St. Augustine and San Miguel.
And you guys drove all the way down there, played those games, and then stayed.
Yeah.
I remember that. So just a very interesting experience. I don't know if it's a good one or not. I think in the end it'll be something you can talk about and learn from, but not something I'm sure you would wish for. But we're going to – well, thanks for sharing that perspective with us. We're going to start the second half here with the Wildcats taking on your Lady Redskins. The teams are both back out on the floor. Coach is talking to them. So to start the game, you want to tell us who's out there on the floor, Chantel?
For St. Johns, you got number 12, Liberty Raven, number 20, Aubrey Wilson, number 11, Kinley Crosby. Brooke Smith is at number 10, and number 21, Joanne Wall.
All right, good job. You don't even have to look at the sheet. You can just look out there and look at them and know exactly who it is, right?
Yeah.
Well, for Joe City, we've got number 4, number 15, number 5, number 23, and number 24. So let me give you their names here real quick. Number 4 for the Joe City Wildcats is Kate Edwards with that shot from Liberty Raven that she misses with the rebound from Kinley Crosby. So Kate Edwards is out there for Joe City. She's on the floor. And then, of course, you've got number 5. She's having a great game, Miss Kissling. She is the 5'8" senior on the floor for Joe City. You got number 24 for Joe City. That's Jessica Jessmer. She's a 5'6" senior as well. And she just made number 23, I thought made a good play right there, but she's going to get called for a foul, and that is Savannah Kinlachini. She is a 5'3" senior. She's a guard for Joe City. So that's who's out there for Joe City right now to start this game. We don't have Olivia Wilbank on the floor. She does have 3 fouls, so coach is keeping her out there for a minute. That's a nice shot by Miss Brooke Smith, number 10. So what we had for the St. Johns girls, just to go back and look at this second half, they scored 17 points in the first quarter. So St. Johns had a great first quarter with 17 points. The second quarter for St. Johns, they only scored 5 points, and that was it. Now, Joe City had it's just more even. First quarter for Joe City, they scored 9 points, and the second quarter for Joe City, they scored 10 points. So 9 and 10 for Joe City. That got them to 19. The Redskins had 17 and 5. They just scored again. So that's what you're seeing on the score. Redskins had a great first period. Chantel, what do you think happened? They scored 17 points in the first quarter. What do you think shut them down to 5 points there in that second period?
I think they got a little content of how they were doing, and they didn't think they were going to have to try as hard in the second quarter because they thought, oh, it's easy, so they're not going to be hard on us this next half.
And they just kind of turned the energy down a little bit, huh?
Yeah, I think they're content with it.
And look at that nice steal by number 12, Liberty Raven, the senior for the Redskins, as she puts it in, and the Redskins go up to 30 points. So now they're up by 11. They jump out to a quick lead. They were only up by 3 to start this second half, and they've already jumped up to 11. So that's a good deal right there.
St. Johns is doing a really good job of full man.
They really are.
Yeah.
So talking to Coach Waite during halftime, Coach Whiting was down there talking to him, and Coach Waite said, the girls really need to put more pressure on the ball and play better defense. So it's exactly what you were saying, Chantel. They need to turn the energy up a little bit and play a little better defense. You know, and I'm not down there, obviously. You were last year. It would seem to keep that energy up when you've got a mask on all the time. That would seem a little tough, just not to be able to get that full oxygen. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't bother them, but that would seem to be a little tough. But everyone's playing with the mask on, so everyone's under the same restriction, so to speak. So we'll see how St. Johns does right now. So they've gone back to that same zone defense, kind of that 1-2-2. Liberty gets called there for a double dribble, so it goes back to the Wildcats. With St. Johns up by 11 points, there's about 6 minutes, 35 seconds to go. You don't want to see Joanne Wall get called for a foul and something like that, but Liberty comes back, makes a great steal, just barely misses over the front of the rim, and she's going to be called for stepping out right there. So, Liberty Raven is a senior. She's our senior. She says that her favorite singer is Mariah Carey. That's her favorite singer is what she told us. So, Chantel, who's your favorite singer?
Oh.
Don't mean to put you on the spot. You can say I got to think about it for a while if you want.
I would have to think about that.
All right, think about it for a while, and you can tell us. Aubrey Wilson, as she gets the ball and brings it up court, she's trying to push it up to Brooke Smith, but instead gets it over to Liberty Raven, who gets a nice shot, and she gets called for traveling. So into the game for Joe City comes number 21. That is Miss Cadence Armstrong. She's a 5'10 sophomore. She's in the game for Joe City. She's going to be guarding Joanne Wall, it looks like. And what do you think about this? It looks like we're putting full court pressure on.
Yeah, I think it's actually working really well.
And there you go, just like you said, Chantel. Brooke Smith gets a steal, pushes up to Liberty Raven. It's like man-to-man full court press is almost what it looks like. Aubrey Wilson with the shot from the outside. That was in and out. Very, very close. She jumps in there. Her and Brooke Smith tried to steal the ball from Kate Edwards for the Wildcats. And it looks like possession arrow is going to go to the Redskins.
Joanne Wall with the steal here, and she sees Liberty Raven. Nice look, but just short.
So still down by 11. Number 24 comes in for the Wildcats. That is Miss Jessica Jessmer. She's got her pink shoes on. She's ready to go. tries to get the inbounds pass, but it goes over the top to number 15. That's Miss Hutchins, who's a 5'5 senior for the Wildcats. She is going to get called. Well, 15 gets called for travel, so looks like it's going to come back the other way then, huh?
I think St. John's caught a break right there.
I think they did too. You know, we've almost gone through 3 minutes. We're at 5:15, and Joe City has yet to score. So Coach Trevor Waite wanting St. John's to really turn up the heat and pressure the ball. They've done a good job because Joe City has not scored yet, and that is going to be called a foul on Aubrey Wilson. So she's going to go to the line and get to shoot. The freshman coming in, doing a great job, I think, for being a freshman. She's 5'7". Looks like she's been put in for Olivia with those 3 fouls that Olivia Wilbank has. I think Coach is just trying to sit her down and maybe even get through this third period before he puts her back in, because he does not want her to foul out of the game. She misses the front end of that 2 shot, so it's still an 11-point game. And just in and out right there, just in and out. So you don't want to shoot on that basket, but she almost shot on the wrong basket. So I'm actually glad that didn't go in. You know, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. I mean, if you're St. John's, you want to see it go in, but you just don't want to see that overall go in. So I'm glad she didn't make that. Liberty Raven gets to go to the line. She gets another chance for these foul shots here. She's shooting 2. So everyone's going to relax a little bit here at first. Again, just off. Just a lot of bad bounces. We're right there. We're right on. We just have a lot of bad bounces coming in and out. So let's see what happens right here. And I don't know what's wrong with the ball, Chantel. What do you think they're talking about down there?
Maybe it's a boys' ball. I think that's what they're saying down there.
Is it really?
Sounds like that's what Liberty Raven just said.
How long do you think that's been going on? How long have we been playing with that ball?
I hope only this half.
Maybe that's why Josie hasn't scored. That's the weirdest thing. I thought maybe the leather was peeling off the side or something. Like, why they keep looking at that? And Liberty Raven is thinking to herself, I'm a senior. I know what a girl's ball feels like. For those of you who don't know, a girl's ball in basketball is slightly smaller than a boy's ball. And even though it's not very small in size, it feels 100% different. It feels really weird if you go back and forth between one or the other. So it looks like off the scorer's table they were given a boy's ball, and I guess they've been playing with it since the half. So it takes one of our seniors, Liberty Raven, she picks up the ball to take a foul shot, and she looks at like, what in the world? Gives it to the ref. He looks at it for a while, throws it back to the scorer's table, and I think we're back to a girl's ball. So Kinley Crosby called for the foul right there. I think that's going to be her second foul. And boys' ball is heavier too, obviously. And maybe that's why we're having those weird misses. Kept saying Aubrey Wilson just shooting, is barely going on the outside, barely missing. So into the game for the Redskins comes Miss Mauricio Begay. She is a 5'7" senior for the Redskins, and she's playing man-to-man defense on number 32 for the Wildcats. So the Redskins are staying in that man-to-man defense, trying to put pressure on the ball like you talked about, Chantel.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of locking down.
Oh, and there you go, huh?
Oh, yeah.
They collapse on the middle. Kinley gets the bad pass. She shoots, and it's just barely off the rim. Now, number 15 is trying to bring it out. The Redskins are trying to put a lot of pressure on the ball. Oh, and she misses the pass on the outside for number 15. So St. John's gets the ball back. St. John's is now leading by 12. It's 31-19 with 4:12 to go on the game. St. John's doing a much better job this half, not having as many fouls. They only got 2 so far. We had 5 fouls at the halfway mark through period number 1, and we've only got 2 fouls through the halfway mark of period number 2. So I'm sure Coach talked to them about that in the locker room. And you can see that same defense, Chantel, with Joe City in that 1-2-2.
They seem to still need to be patient.
So the Redskins are going to take it out with just right at about 4 minutes to go here in this third period. Joanne Wall's going to look for the shot off the corner. Look at Liberty Raven right in the right spot for that rebound like you were talking about at halftime. Good positioning with her body to be right there on the block and try to get that rebound. call that the picket fence if you're watching the Hoosiers. You guys run that play. What do you guys call that play? Where you try to make a little wall right there and get it on that three-point shot.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I do not remember.
We used to call it picket fence. Have you ever seen the movie Hoosiers? That basketball movie. You got to watch that sometime if you haven't. You're probably too young to remember it. But they do that kind of and win the whole state championship and the whole game on that play right there. On that picket fence, or the fence as they called it, I think. So anyways, so we're seeing Liberty Raven at the line again. She looks at the ball. She realizes it is a girl's ball. She feels pretty good about that, but doesn't quite get the ball in. So we haven't been shooting super well from the line. We've missed quite a few free throws. So as Liberty takes that second shot, it goes in on a good bounce right there. St. Johns goes up 32-19. So 13 points separates these two teams as we get down under the 4-minute mark going into this third period. And like you said, Chantel, they're really trying to put pressure on the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, it looks like they're actually pulling back from that full-court press, though, giving Joe City time to make it down the court at least.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten out of that. And here we're going to see, again, this 1-2-2. And I think, St. John's is going to have shots on the corner, like with Mauricio Begay down there in the corner or Liberty Raven. You're going to have those three-point shots. They're giving those to St. John's just in the fact that they're taking that away with the 1-2-2. So Joe City is trying to get their first basket of this half. They had a nice first period with 9 points and a nice second period, I believe, with 10 points, and that leaves them at 19. And so you got to wonder, are they going to shoot from the outside a little more, or what are they going to do as they send in two new players to see if they can overcome this drought that they've had? Almost 5 minutes have gone by in this third period, and they just have not scored. I thought she was going to shoot that, and she did. Number 22 barely misses it. That was Hannah Burt, and that rebound gets tied up underneath and gets pushed out to Miss Totocini as she brings it down the floor and gets a nice pass up, but it goes off the hands of Kate Edwards for the Wildcats, so the Redskins get the ball back. All right, Kinley Crosby's bringing it back down. Any guesses on her favorite singer?
I feel like Beyonce or something.
Okay, yeah, so I don't even know if I'm saying this right, but Post Malone
and
Ariana Grande. I don't know how you say her name. I'm not sure about all the singers these days, but that's her favorite singer. Did you come up with yours yet, Chantel? Or maybe one that you like?
I think I like I can't. Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, that's a good one.
There you go, Kelly Clarkson, of course. She does. She has a wonderful voice. Kinley barely got that in there, missed that one off the front, so Joe City brings the ball back down. And we're 2 minutes left in this third period. Joe City still has not scored. Four fouls for Joe City, right? And 3 for us, so a lot less fouls. What do you think about that? They just haven't scored. Here comes the stack play.
I think that pep talk in the locker room really set St. John's straight, so they're staying competitive and being tough on the ball.
You'd like to see Joe City just drive the ball and then kick it out and take some shots from out there. They were hitting some shots earlier in the first half, but it's just not happening right now. Some girls go down, masks come off, and it goes to Joe City. So number 23, Savannah Kinlachini is going to take it in for the Joe City Wildcats. Now they run the box. Went from the stack to the box, so let's see what happens right here. She was there underneath for a brief second, number 4, but the ball just didn't quite get there. So number 15 trying to back her way in. Charles Barkley that's a nice pass into number 21 for Joe City. And it looks like, I think they're going to call that a foul on number 23, Mauricio Begay. No, 22.
Yeah.
22. Okay, so that is going to be on. That is not on Mauricio, but that's on Hannah Burt. And that is Hannah Burt's first foul. You'd like to see number 5 just take that shot right over the top there off the elbow. Just go ahead, and she's there. She's got the ball, and just shoot up over the top. Sharon Totocini barely misses that one off front. Rebound comes away to number 4. That's Kate Edwards, who kicks it out to Miss Totocini, and boom, and she drills the three-pointer for Joe City's first points of this half. So Joe City 22, the Redskins 34. Minute 15 to go. And here we're going to have Kinley Crosby looking around, getting people to come out top. Hannah Burt back to Kinley, over to Miss Mauricio Begay. She doesn't take the shot. It goes back to Hannah Burt, who gets over to Liberty Raven. So they're staying on the outside. They've got 4 on the outside on that 1-2-2-2 zone. Trying to swing that ball around, move that defense, and spread that defense out so they can get a shot. I'd like to see Miss Mauricio Begay take a shot from over there on that left corner. What are you thinking, Chantel? What do you think the Redskins ought to do right here?
Well, they just got a turnover.
They just got a turnover. I think they should get back and play defense then, huh? Play some good defense. Get the ball back.
Foul on Joanne Wall, number 21. Number 15, Hutchins, is going for 2 shots here.
Just in and out on that free throw from number 15 for the Wildcats, Miss Hutchins. And into the game comes number 10. That's the player that you liked at the end of the first half, Chantel. Number 10, Abby Smith. She's the 5'7" senior for Joe City. So Hannah Burt gets the ball. She's bringing it back up the court against some good defense by number 15, but she is going to get called for the foul. So number 15 takes the foul. Miss Hutchins gets called. That's going to be, I think, the 5th team person. Yeah, it is the 5th foul. And it's going to be her 3rd personal. So Miss Hutchins has 3 fouls on her with that foul. It looks like she is going to stay in the game. There's less than 30 seconds to go in this period with Aubrey Wilson giving it over to Miss Smith. Back to Miss Burt, back to Aubrey Wilson. And here comes Mauricio Begay, who gives it to Joanne Wall as we continue to run the weave with Wilson to Burt. Burt tries to take it in to Begay, back to Smith. And Smith's going to get it back over to Joanne Wall, who's going to look to drive. I'm hoping one of them will penetrate the lane right here. And it looks like Aubrey Wilson might be the one. She gets it underneath to Joanne. Wow, that's a good pass right there. With 1.3 seconds on the clock, I mean, right at the end. Just weave and weave and weave and weave, and then she threw it underneath. That was a good job by Joanne to see that space underneath. It was a good pass to Joanne, who used her body to box out, draws the foul. So very nice work right there by the Redskins at the end with 1.3 seconds to go. All right, here it is. This is going to be the last shot of the game, barring something weird with 1.3 seconds to go. Joe City's going to take it out. You're going to hear the buzzer here in a second, and that's going to be the game, or the period. So, 3 periods underway. Give us your thoughts, Chantel. Give us a summary of the game so far.
St. Johns came out really aggressive, and they were really pressuring the ball there, and they just really showed that in that 3rd period. They just put all those points on the board and continued to turn over for Joe City. They couldn't even score. So I thought that was a really good job on St. John's part.
It really was, wasn't it? So that was 3 points for Joe City in the entire 3rd period. They had 9 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second quarter, and then Joe City just had 3 points on that one shot by Sharon Toticini from the outside, and that is their only 3 points. So St. John's, as you may recall, 22 points coming into half, so they scored 15 points, went back up to 15 points for the 3rd period. Let me give you a rundown of the scores so far. Brooke Smith has 2, Kinley Crosby has 4, Liberty Raven with 7, and of course Aubrey Wilson leads all scores with 8. Joanne Wall has 6, and Hannah Burt has 6 as well. So we've got some good even scoring right there. Liberty with 7, Aubrey with 8, Joanne with 6, Hannah with 6, and then Mauricio Begay with that nice shot has 2, and Olivia Wilbank has 2. For the Joe City Wildcats, Kate Edwards has a point. Miss Kissling has 4. Miss Hutchinson, she has 6. She does have 3 fouls. And then also Miss Armstrong has 2. Miss Kinlachini, she has 4 points. And then Miss Jessmer has 2. And rounding it out is Miss Miller with 3. That is going to be a 3-shot foul right there, huh? Oh, no. No. What did they call, Chantel?
I'm not sure. I think maybe travel.
Travel on her, huh? She's been called for that several times this game with the traveling call there. She's going to be called as well. Miss Hutchins gets called for travel. So St. John's gets it right back.
St. John's is coming out strong again, too, with their full court press here.
So give us kind of a play-by-play. Walk us through this series here.
Looks like they're going to try to move the ball and get this defense moving. Oh, Olivia wasn't paying attention there.
She didn't quite see that coming, did she?
Yeah.
She sat out for most of the third period with those 3 fouls, so she's back in now. And you can hear Coach Davis kind of getting mad at her, huh?
Yeah.
You can hear him down there yelling. And there's your shot. Just right in front of the rim. Olivia gets it.
Good save by Wilbank there.
And that was traveling. She was walking. She wanted to put the ball down, but everyone was around her, so she just figured she'd step and get closer, I guess. So Miss Totticini gets called for traveling as Kinley takes the inbounds pass to bring him back up the floor. All right. Tell us, if you're the point guard right now, what are you seeing and what are you thinking to do, Chantel? What are your ideas right here?
I think I want to move the ball a lot until the middle gets open and then shoot it to Joanne. But you got to be quick.
Got to be quick, and you can't travel. So Brooke Smith gets called for traveling. That's our third traveling call in less than a minute. So got a lot of traveling going on. These girls are looking for a passport is what they're doing. They want to get away from this COVID. So Miss Totticini brings it up with a nice pass over to Miss Hutchins, who gets it into number 4 for the Wildcats. That's Kate Edwards, but it is stolen by Brooke Smith, and she gets it over to Liberty Raven, and it looks like there's going to be a foul. And is that going to be on Miss Totticini, I guess? Let's see.
12 said there. 21.
He did say 21, didn't he?
That was Armstrong.
And there she is. Armstrong gets called. How many fouls? That's her second foul. So Miss Armstrong picks up her second foul. Joe City is in foul trouble in that sense. They're in the bonus, or the Skins are in the bonus because there's 7 fouls on Joe City, which is flip-flop from our last half. So we're going to get – he's coming over to correct something. What is he? Oh, he's going one-on-one. That's what I was wondering. We had 7 fouls. I figured we're in the bonus. I didn't know if he was calling that an offensive foul, like she had possession down there. So Brooke Smith gets 2 shots. All right, Brooke Smith. Let's see who is – oh, you know who Brooke Smith she put down for one of her favorite bands is Queen. Look at her taking it all the way back to the 70s, like 3 decades before at least she was even born. So Brooke Smith gets a foul shot, goes back to Joe City, and it's 37-22. St. John's up by 15 with 6:38 to go. St. John's is in the bonus as Joe City has 7 fouls. And it looks like she's going to get called for the 5. You got 5 seconds to get it in. She didn't quite make it, so turnover goes to the Redskins. Liberty Raven bringing it in. Gets it into Joanna Wall. She puts up a strong shot. Olivia gets a nice rebound. Going to be called for a jump is what it looks like, right?
Yeah.
With arrow to Joe City. So, a timeout then, huh? So, jump ball results in, I think, possession of Joe City. Timeout is called, and the Redskins come to the bench. All right, so we've got 6:34 to go. This is just the second game for the Lady Redskins this year. It looks like in playing Joe City and talking to Coach Dan Bushman before the game, he said that he really didn't have to do anything to motivate the girls, that they wanted to come and play, they wanted to come and practice, and he expects them to be very competitive this year. And I can see that. He's got a nice, experienced team. He's got quite a few seniors on the team. One of his assistant coaches has a daughter on the team. I think these 3 coaches are doing a great job for Joe City. St. John's is a tough team, as you know, Chantel. They play hard. They really put pressure on the ball. They try to steal everything. But Joe City's done a good job. They just had a real hard time there in that third period when St. John's came out and really got after them. Put a lot of pressure on the ball like you were talking about at halftime. So it's going to be interesting to see if St. John's can keep this 15-point lead. They were up by quite a bit, as you recall, at the end of the first period, and then they only scored 5 points in the second period, and Joe City did a really good job and came back and almost tied the score. But then the Redskins had that runaway third period where Joe City only scored 3 points in the whole period and Redskins scored 15. So that's the difference on the scoreboard right now. That quarter really put the Redskins up.
Wide open for Savannah Kinlinchy, but she's just short of her shot.
It's that corner travel. They keep picking up that pivot foot. They've got that set foot, and they're picking that up to make that pass. There's been 2 or 3 players called for that so far just in this period alone. So St. John's really got to be careful down there in that corner. It was a good pass into Olivia. You could see Olivia had a chance to maybe make a break up underneath there, but it just didn't happen there. Brooke Smith with a great hustle. I don't even think her team knew that she had made such a good effort to steal that ball. So Joe City gets the basket. Nice job right there. Coach Davis a little bit upset. He wanted his team to be hustling and turning around and see what was going on. So now, with St. John's up by 13, 5:44 to go, Coach Davis calls the timeout. All right, any guesses? We're going to do another guess here on music for Joanne Wall. What would you think about music for Joanne Wall?
Michael Bublé.
Okay, so she puts down all Disney music.
Oh,
right.
Joanne.
I would think of Joanne to be something a little more, aggressive, but it's all the Disney music. So that's interesting for Joanne Wall there. What about? Is she down there? Let's see. No, she's not. I don't have any music favorites or anything for the freshmen on the team, so I can't give you anything on that. We're gonna have to get with them before the next game and get all that. Gonna have to get all that going. Let's see if we're going to have, okay, Joe City looks like they're either man-to-man or they're going to go 2-3. Maybe even a zone. Yeah, like a zone man is what it looks like. Just a rotate zone man. And Kinley Crosby with nice penetration. Joanne with the three-point shot. And she just gets it from the outside. Nice shot by Joanne Wall. So St. John's goes up to 40 points as Joe City throws that ball away. Kinley Crosby ties up number 21 for Joe City, and at that jump ball, arrow goes to Joe City.
Lizzie Farmer is also a junior who is out with a foot injury. She came out of volleyball season with tenderness, and coaches couldn't get her to stay off of it, so now it has gotten worse. And she's in a boot for right now, and she won't be sure when she'll be back, but she is also a good, crucial player for the St. John's Lady Redskins team.
I know. I hate to see that. Lizzie Farmer, she's a junior this year, isn't she?
Yeah,
Lizzie Farmer is a junior. She did a great job last year. Super tough player, smart player, hustles a little bit. Like you said, that injury in volleyball has just kept her sidelined. And a lot of you guys want to play so bad you won't stay off the injury. You know what I mean? She wanted to get out there, so it looks like she's going to have to sit out a bit longer now with that boot on. Joanne Wall with a nice block as she throws it back in. Almost gets it there. And Miss Hutchins with the 2-point basket underneath draws the foul. Gets a chance to put 3 on the board. So Joe City has a chance right now to go up and get 3 points. They would be down by 13 if she makes this. And while we're talking about Lizzie Farmer, her favorite music, Lauren Daigle. Is that how you say that?
I'm not sure. She's a gospel singer, though. She is really good.
Okay. There you go.
Like Christian pop, yeah.
Christian pop, right on. Favorite movie's The Hunger Games. So Lizzie Farmer, if you're listening, we hope you get back out there soon. Stay off the leg. Take care of yourself. We need you on the court if we're going to make a push into the state championship bracket and go all the way. So Liberty brings it down underneath to Aubrey Wilson, who makes a nice drive. Tries to go up right-handed. Gets blocked by number 21 for the Wildcats. Miss Armstrong with a nice block right there on Aubrey Wilson, the freshman. They will see more of each other because Aubrey Wilson is a freshman and Miss Armstrong is a sophomore. Nice pass underneath. One of your shortest players on the floor, Brooke Smith, with a nice off the left side glass. St. John's extends its lead to 15 points again, 42-27. Brooke Smith tries to trap the ball. Miss Sharon gets it. It is stolen. Liberty Raven goes for a right-hander, just lose it off the foot as it goes in.
St. Johns seems to be pulling off on that full court press now in this half.
Yeah, they don't seem to want to. They don't seem to want to be there on the. I don't know if the coach doesn't want to get more fouls because they've got 8 fouls, but it looks like they're going to have to stay with. Well, there's that full court pressure again we were just talking about. Yeah, I'll be right there, amigo.
Good shot by Liberty Raven at the free throw. Aubrey is going to go for her foul shots right here. Her first one goes in. And here goes number 21, Armstrong, who's coming out right here. And number 5, Kissling, comes back in right here. Aubrey Wilson extends the lead by 2 more points. Makes both of her free throws, and here goes Savannah Kamuchi throwing out for Jersey City. And it looks like St. Johns is going to do. Oh, no, they're pulling off of that full court press here. Miller, number 32, is bringing the ball in. Nice defense by Liberty Raven. Really pressuring the ball. Number 4 has the ball. That is Edwards. She is a sophomore. 24 with the shot, just short. And 32 with that rebound. Kim Lynchini got it back. Number 5.
So it's going to go to a 1-and-1 there with that foul, huh?
Yeah, on number 4, Edwards again.
That's on Kate Edwards, that 5'9" sophomore. She picks up her first foul. She's played a good, clean game, and she gets her first foul right now. So St. John's are going to go to the line. Marissa Begay. Let's see, Mariso, she's going to have, it is going to be a 1-on-1 because they're not the 10 fouls. So she's going to get a 1-on-1 chance right now. Mariso's a good basketball player. She's got a good form on this shot. Just a little bit long, but good form, almost gets it in. Joe City with the rebound. And it looks like we may have a steal. Nope, goes back to Miss Totocini. She gets the ball and bringing it down. Aubrey Wilson Gardner. Nice pass underneath to Miss Kissling, who barely misses there. Gets it over to Kate Edwards. Back to number 24. That's Jessica Jesmer with the miss. Oh, and Miss Kissling gets the ball back again. Miss Totocini with a shot just over the rim. And number 5 for the Wildcats. Kissling goes out of bounds with Marisa Begay, and the ball goes to the Wildcats. While we've got a break in the action, I want to thank Mr. Victor Chavez and Paul Hancock for putting this together with the Loft. As you know, we've talked about them so many times, but we can't give enough thanks to them for setting this up, broadcasting this game, making all of us, especially during this COVID time. Wow, nice shot there by number 24, Jessica Jesmer, the 5'6" senior for the Wildcats. Off that right side elbow, bringing almost 30 points for the Wildcats as they look to cut the lead. Nice rebound right there by number 5. She gets it back over to number 15 as she's bringing it down the court. That's Miss Hutchins. She's got 3 fouls, but she's had a great game. She's scored a lot of points so far, and she sets a nice screen, and she does the pick and roll right there. Really nice, but Mauricio Begay with the steal. Back to Kinley Crosby as she brings it up the floor for the Redskins. And Carly Wingert with a nice shot, just barely misses. Good shot underneath by Miss Wingert as the ball is going to go over to Miss Totocini, who's getting pressure from Aubrey Wilson. She gets it over to Miss Hutchins, who's looking for somebody underneath, but there is nobody there because the Redskins do a good job of getting back. And she gets it almost under Miss Kissling, and Carly makes a great play right there to front her like that and get the ball. So nice job there by Carly Wingert. We've got a timeout on the floor. I do want to thank our presiding Superior Court Judge Mike Latham for putting this all together with the Loft, having the vision to get the equipment to have Victor Chavez bring in people that are doing a great job and broadcasting this to everyone. This is really important to the kids, to the communities, especially with COVID going around right now. So the Loft making all of this possible. And Miss Chantel Perry, want to welcome her. This is her first broadcast. We're glad to have her here with us. She is a junior for the Redskins. She played as a freshman and as a sophomore, but this year she's up in the announcing booth with us and giving us a lot of insight to the coaches, the players, what she's seeing on the floor. So super fun to announce this game with her and hear all the inside information, if you will. So thank you for being here, Chantel.
Thanks for having me.
We're happy to have you as Joe City takes the floor with 1 minute, 57 seconds to go. Unless something really odd happens, it looks like St. Johns is going to get the win. They're up by 15 points right now. And also into the game for the Redskins is number 43. That's Ashton Crosby. She's a 5'6" junior. Nice hustle there by Miss Burt as she gets underneath the Carly Wingert. Oh, nice try right there by Miss Wingert. And the ball is taken by number 24. Miss Jesmer drives it in, looks inside. Marisa Begay with the steal. And as she gets that back to Hannah Burt, who brings up the court and decides to turn around, almost gets it stolen. Carly Wingert again with a nice shot. Almost goes in just a little bit off the top. And that's a nice rebound right there by number 21. But Marisa Begay doing a great job staying on top of it. Gets the jump ball, and the arrow goes back to the Redskins. So it's what you were talking about earlier, Chantel. The Redskins are really doing a good job of playing hard and trying to defend the ball. Into the game is number 32. It looks like Hope Burt. Does that sound right, Chantel?
Yeah, it is. 22 and 32 are siblings right there.
They're sisters, right?
Yeah, they get to play together.
That's pretty neat, huh?
Cool. Yeah.
So number 22, Hannah Burt, she's a 5'6" sophomore. And you got number 32, Hope Burt. She is a 5'9" junior. Both of the sisters are on the floor right now with St. John's looking at a 15-point lead. One's a sophomore, one's a junior, right?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty neat. So we got sisters on the floor as Hannah Burt takes that shot. Her sister's over there telling her, gives her a high five, says, hey, good job, put it in this time. We want to get it to 45 points. So she's going to try again, number 22. Nice shot right there. Barely misses. Good rebound by Carly Wingert. Barely misses on that putback. Gets it over to Ashton Crosby, who lets it go out of bounds, and it's going to go back to St. John's. So we're going to have another timeout with 57.8 seconds to go here in the second game of the season for the Lady Redskins. They are up by 15 points on Joe City. It's been a really good game. It's been fun having Chantel Perry up here announcing with us, giving us a lot of the inside information. Our officials did a great job tonight. Just want to thank all of them. They've driven down here. They've officiated a great game, and we really appreciate them being here. Chantel, what are you seeing as we round this out? What are you seeing from the Redskins as the season goes forward, things that they could do better, or things that you thought they did good tonight? Let's talk about what they did good tonight.
What I think they did good was the full court press. They're really on it, and they're pressuring the ball really hard and just doing a good job of communicating and making sure to switch when they needed to, and they're doing really good on that trap situation. So I thought that was a really good job on
For
their
sure.
part.
I thought so too. That's a great point right there. Our three officials, as they're standing out there getting ready to start the game this last minute, Mr. Ted Watson, Mr. Terry Jones, and Mr. Jared Totacini. Thank you so much for being here and officiating this game. Gentlemen, you did a great job, and we appreciate you letting these athletes play and coming out and officiating tonight. So as we start the last minute of this game, Ashton Crosby looking to bring it in. She gets it to Miss Burt, who's almost looks at her sister like she was going to bring it back in and maybe pass it to her sister, but slides back out, drives it in, tries to get it to Miss Wingert. The ball gets lost underneath, and number 31 for Joe City gets the rebound. That's Kylie Raskin. She's a 5'6" senior for the Wildcats. She's in the game. Miss Totacini with the ball. She's had a nice game. She's made some nice shots from the outside. And that's going to be a backcourt call right there. Just got away from her a little bit there with Jessica Jesmer. So St. John's gets the ball back with 30 seconds to go. And Chantel, take us through the rest of this game.
Right. Ashton Crosby throwing it in to Marisa Begay here, and she sees a good look to Carly Wingert, and nice shot off the glass right there for Carly Wingert, her first points of the game.
That was a nice shot, wasn't it? Just spin right off the glass. Looked great.
Number 15 had the ball there. Savannah Kinlichini has it now, number 23. She has a good look to number 31.
Oh, wow, did you see the long? Look
Oh,
at the long
Jessica.
three-pointer. Good job by Jessica Jesmer, the 5'6" junior for the Wildcats. Nice three-pointer to end the game. So a quick recap, St. Johns 46-32 against the Joe City Wildcats tonight. Let me give you just a rundown real quick on points. It looks like Miss Brooke Smith had 4 points. Kenley Crosby had 4 points. Liberty Rabin had 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I think it was Aubrey Wilson led all scorers with 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 points. Joanne Wall had 6 points. Hannah Burt had 6 points. Mariso had 2 points. Olivia Wilbank had 4 points. And Carly Wingert on that nice shot you called had 2 points. For the Joe City Wildcats, Kate Edwards with a point. Miss Kissling had 4. Miss Hutchins had 2, 4, 6, and 9 points tonight. And then, of course, Miss Armstrong had 2. Savannah Kinlichey, she had 4 points. And Jessica Jesmer had 2, 4, and 7 points. And Amari Miller rounding it out with 3 points. So good job tonight by the Lady Redskins. Chantel Perry, thank you so much for being here, helping us with that game. You did a wonderful job. And a huge thank you to the Loft, Judge Mike Latham, Paul Hancock, and Victor Chavez for bringing this to us. We're signing off. Great win for the Lady Redskins tonight, and we will see you later. God bless.